that's the whole thing, man. Like I have such a track record and a reputation. I get referred work through people I already worked with in the past, and that's how it is. Like when you start out, you'll see a lot of people come and go in the business when you're barely getting your feet wet and you're trying to get on every project and so forth. But then you start to see people fall away and go on and move on with their lives. People move, they get married and so forth. But eventually you'll find the right people to work with, and then you'll rise up with them. You know, a lot of, I'm not going to name big stars, but that's what they do. They start out with a certain group of people that they know they can work with, and they continue to work with them throughout their whole career. You know, so like now it's like I'm with, you know, I'm with the company, and we're like family, and we are a family, you know, and so we continue to work together, and we're rising up together. And then sometimes we bring new people in, you know, if the roles require new people, you know, or a certain type of actor that we're looking for, you know. So, yeah, man, it's a trip. I haven't auditioned in years.
That's a good thing, you know. Look, and it's just like anything, whether it's even what I do with the podcast or with Instagram or with anything, really. It's you succeed faster and better when it's a collaborative effort. You know, when you have a team, that's how you grow. That's how you build, no matter what industry or what kind of what kind of niche you're into.
Yeah. Speaking of the green screen, the reason why I have it, I never had one. I recently just got this because I'm about to get back on the casting sites after like 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm going to start playing the game and going back out there to get some work, you know, I mean, other work, because I have a track record now and I got stuff to show for. So I want to try to get more starring roles in other people's films. You know, I mean, people, they check your stuff. They know who's doing what. And so I have had talks with other people that hit me up for other feature films and all that. But, you know, it's, you know, when the paper's there and the money's in place, then we talk, right?
Yeah.
You know, it just depends, you know, it depends who they are, you know, if it's really worth it or not. You know, I can't jump on everything, you know.
Right. You have to be selective because it's your reputation too.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's switch gears to something fun. I want to talk about, you were just recently at the Beverly Hills Film Festival. I'm jealous. I wish I was there. Next year, I want to fly out there. I don't care what happens. I want to be there.
Yeah.
Hopefully with you. But you went to go. You hung out with some really exciting and extraordinary friends. Let's tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the Beverly Hills Film Festival. It was at the Chinese Theater, not the main theater. They actually have like a movie theater upstairs. So I went out and supported my dear friend Chuck Zito on his new movie documentary about his life and career. Chuck Zito, An American Story, directed by Dominic Milano, and he's a filmmaker. He's an amazing filmmaker. He did Michael Manson's documentary, won a bunch of awards and stuff like that. And so and I was the first AD on Chuck's documentary, and I met him because I was shooting Cash Collectors with Dominic. And so Dominic, because I'm doing production, you know, I had a small part in Cash Collectors. It's not out yet. It's complete. I think it's going to film festival. That's a whole nother thing. So I worked with Dominic, and Dominic decided, you know, he talked to Chuck, and Chuck had all this footage from way back in the days from all these interviews he did with Sylvester Stallone and Robert Patrick and Robert, well, you know, bunch of stars, man. You know, Pamela Anderson, Michael J. White, James Caan, Tony, the guy from Sopranos that passed away. Like, he had all this footage, and so Dominic stepped in and finished the documentary, and it was powerful, man. It was exciting, and it was also emotional to get you choked up and make you want to cry, and because of his story is just so powerful and stuff that he had to go through. And I'm just thankful to call him my dear friend, and love him so much, man. He's a man's man, and we had a blast at the premiere screening, you know, at the film festival. You know, had a really good time. And Frank Stallone was there too, because Frank was in the documentary, and Frank is, you know, people that don't know, is Sylvester Stallone's brother. He's a musician and actor himself, and he's an amazing talent, you know, a great person, humble, loving, and all that as well. And we just had a good time there, and it was a blast, bro. It was like,
the Frankster.
These stars, huh?
The Frankster. He's known as the Frankster.
Frankster, yeah. Yeah, and if any of you guys watching or play music, check out Frank Stallone Guitars. Reach out to GJ. He's Frank's business partner, CEO, and all that of the company, and they got some pretty cool guitars.
Yeah, I met him years ago when they shot what was it, Rocky Balboa? I think it was 2007, maybe. I forget the year, but and I got to meet Frank Stallone and Sylvester Stallone, and I actually was in the movie. I say this every podcast, but I got cut out of the damn movie. But you know what? It was a lot of fun. I got to hang out with them and talk, and then years later, when I lived in LA, I got to meet Frank a few times. Used to hang out at Cafe Roma, just like everybody else did.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun, man. And sadly, that closed, I heard. But yeah, I would love to meet up with him again. I actually the script that we wrote, I think Chuck Zito and Frank Stallone both could play really good parts. There's some really good juicy characters in there that I think they would love. But we're not there yet. Right now, we have to raise the money. But I'm a big fan of both of them, and I love everything that they put out.
Yeah, if I mean, like, just reach out to them, man, and see what their daily rate is. I mean, like, there is a way to get like named actors and just pay them a daily rate and then shoot all their scenes in like 1 or 2 days. So then you're not spreading it out over a course of like 3 weeks or months, because then it rolls into like a lot of money to get them back and forth, especially if they have to fly and you have to house them and so forth. So it just makes sense. A lot of people here in LA do that. They'll get like Eric Roberts for a day or Danny Trejo for a day, and they pay them their daily fee, whatever they negotiate. Like it's usually a SAG daily rate. But I don't know. I'm not speaking for Chuck or Frank or anything like that. But there's if you know them and the money's right for them, maybe they'll do it. I don't know what that is. I can't speak on numbers, but it's really they're excited about the project and they believe in it, and sure, everything's negotiable, right? And a lot of these guys are like, not them, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of named actors that are doing non-union stuff because they want to work, they love acting, they love the money sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm not speaking for them, but there is people like that though. Yeah.
No, absolutely. If they like the project, they believe in it. Sure. I mean, that goes for any crew. The fact that you were first AD, that's really cool though, because that's not an easy gig to get. Real quick too, I just want to give a shout out to my dear friend Dawn Kaltenbach. Hello, she's a sweetheart. Make sure you're following Louis Olias, please. Thank you. Make sure you're following Lou. He's a great guy. You'll love him. You'll love his content. And yes, I hear you on that, Kristen, my man.
Carol Posner. She's like my aunt. She's a family friend. She's like a second mom to me.
Oh, well, welcome. Thank you for watching the show. This is going to be
She's looking for a kidney, by the way. She needs a kidney donor, so hit me up or hit her up. She's has a 40-year-old kidney that she needs to replace. It was a donor kidney she has.
Okay.
So, reach out to her if and find out if the blood type matches or whatever.
What's her screen name?
It says Posner Carol.
All right.
Posner, Posner Carol. She's over here in Torrance, California, which is 30 minutes from me. Yeah.
Great, let's
I grew up with her and her sons. We went to school and all that.
Yeah, definitely. Let's pray on that too. That
Yeah, she's a
few years. Huh? I'm sorry, friend. I was just saying, a friend of mine a few years ago, like right at the right time, he got that call, and thank God, it worked out. So we'll have to say a prayer, definitely.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, she's on dialysis, so she goes like a few days a week. So it's kind of like she's like, God, we're all like, God, come through. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? But she's doing good. She's hanging in there. Thank God. Yeah.
Lou, now I don't want to keep you all night.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm good.
It's I want to make sure you're being great with your time, and I appreciate it.
I'm good, man. I after this, I'm just gonna probably hit up get some food or something like that. I was like fasting all day.
Yeah, I'm I've been doing this late eating. It's about almost 1:20 a.m. on the East Coast, and I'm hungry for something. I'm like, every night I say I'm not going to eat late, but somehow I do.
Drink some water and get full off the water.
There's a DeStefano. That's my buddy here, just jumping on there. Really, you do it. That's his last name is DeStefano, but it's spelled differently.
DeStefano. Yeah, just we don't get butthurt about it. We only get butthurt for first names like pronounced wrong or something. Yeah, DeStefano.
So what's in the future, man? What are you looking forward to? What's your goal now in the next few years, 5 years? Where you want to see yourself?
Starring in studio films. It's possible, but that's a whole nother game. Like the whole studio system. I'm not even there yet. You know what I mean? Like, let me back up a little bit. So I'm SAG eligible by choice, which meaning I could join SAG whenever I want. Um, and I wanted to concentrate on building a track record all these years. And I guess as an actor, you're never really satisfied. It's like there's something beyond this. There's something bigger and better and great I want to do, So you're always hungry for the next like gig and stuff like that, and which is good, to have that drive. So I'm not gonna tell you all my plans, but I'm gonna eventually join SAG and then play the system that's designed for us to play. Get an agent manager that's through SAG, they're represented like I guess the agency, they're like a legit SAG agency, you know what I mean? They take SAG actors, I guess, and then like go play that game. Even though the auditioning route is gosh, I don't want to say it's pointless because you really need to write and produce and star in your own films to have a track record. And those that do have a track record and want to do the bigger stuff, we have to join SAG, get an agent manager, and then play that system. But then the agents, they have access to breakdowns that we wouldn't have access to. So then, of course, you can get in front of these bigger casting directors and so forth. And people say the casting directors are gatekeepers. It's more of the distributors, but the casting directors, that's a whole nother thing too. It's like they have to get familiar with you and stuff like that. They don't know if you're a liability or an asset. They're scared to bring people on, but the studios will still audition people and so forth. But I still think it's you still need to play the game anyways and get in front of these people, and then eventually, because ultimately it's the producers, studio level executives that make the decisions who hires the actors anyways. It's the casting directors that's doing it, kind of like the interview process and so forth. Like a lot of actors don't like auditioning. Some do, but it is an opportunity to get in front of these people and do what you do what you love, but I do like the independent route at the moment. You know what I mean? I love it. I thrive in it. It's like second nature for me to just do my thing and wear many hats. I'm a director of photography. That was my back door into Hollywood. It's literally production. A lot of actors won't do it. They just want to play dress up and makeup and get all the glory and go home and don't lift a finger on set. I understand studios, you can't do that because of the unions and stuff like that. Everyone has a position. You don't overstep the positions, the boundaries and stuff like that. But independent, it's like us guys, we need the help. We need the manpower to get these projects done. And especially when the budgets could be tight or the crew is really small, skeleton crew, uh, you have to wear many hats. It's just a norm. And there's a lot of people now that were names that I'm not gonna say any names. They're kind of forced doing non-union independent stuff. You know what I mean? Because they want to continue the work and they love it. And the studios ain't paying the big money to a lot of these people that were making a lot of money back then. So they're kind of either start their own production companies and do their own films, which they should be doing anyways. And you know, but the independent guys, I think it's a bigger opportunity for us now because it's almost becoming like an equal playing field in the industry. Because these big studio movies, they're not making their money back on some of them, and then when it goes to streaming, the streaming platforms are taking so much money that the studios ain't gonna make their money back. Like $100 million movie, it's only out for so long, and then it goes to streaming, and the percentages are like, I don't know. Like right now, it seems like they're trying to figure out how is this going to work for the long term. But I just saw an article the other day that Netflix is going to start taking independent films, which is good for guys like us, like, so yeah, if they want to hire us as a company to go shoot the independent stuff, we can give them movies all day long if they want. So that's where we're at. So now you have independent films on the rise, which there's tons of us out there that are doing them. And then you have all these actors that we grew up watching doing our films now. It's like we can literally go hire them, and that guy or girl, that actor, could be my co-star now, or it could be your co-star. You know what I mean? That's where we're at with the day and age, with the way film is right now. You know what I mean? It's pretty exciting. So I'm curious on how the industry is going to change in the next 10 years. But going back to your question, I want to direct more too, and I also want to star in more feature films. I'm going to be directing some of those movies with the company I'm with, but also I want to be able to get my movies done and star in my movies or direct my movies. You know what I mean? And it'll happen. I just got to put the work in. Put the work in. That's it. It sounds easy, but it's not easy when you're staring at a blank screen. You're like, I got so much great ideas, and you're trying to get it out there, and it's just like blank screen in front of you. But once I get going, dude, I cranked out a feature film before within like 4 days. I know I can do it. It's just like your daily life and routine kind of gets in the way, and then all that stuff. But you know what I mean? Just got to get it done. And so I got some stuff. I got stuff in the works, bro. And I got other people hitting me up that want me to be in their films. They just like scheduling and then time and money and all that stuff too. And so if the stars align, if it's God's will, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, man, I agree with you. And by the way, Christopher says he loves it. Great interview. Love it, Lewis.
Thank you. So that guy, it doesn't say Christopher, but his name's Christopher. Okay, Christopher, yeah. I see now.
Cool. So I'll take up on the steak dinner, by the way. So, yeah, no, that's the beautiful thing about now. I just got done speaking with another gentleman, Kevin Donato, and he's an independent filmmaker out here on the East Coast, Jersey, Philly area. And we just literally had the same discussion on here. And you could be a guy that's independent and find yourself in a great position, because now it's the power of Hollywood and the studio system has kind of really just kind of changed. And now, as long as you have people want a good product, and they have access to it through streaming network, through social media. I mean, there's ways that you can access somebody that's relatively unknown, let's say, but if it gets enough steam, if it gets enough views, enough action, you know why? You're going to get like a Netflix or another lesser known company to back you. Because at the end of the day, people want a good product.
Of course.
They want a good product. And I'm sorry, I don't want to be offensive, but I'm tired of seeing the same old rehashed stuff from the 80s. It's just not, it's not interesting to me.
Yeah, you're definitely right, man. It's just, now we just got to put in the work, man. Like these independent guys to get the stuff out there. It's, the opportunities here, and the equipment, all that, it doesn't cost that much anymore to make a movie. You know what I mean? Like you can make a movie, and you can make it pretty damn quick too. Like if it comes down to it, like there's ways to do it. And if I can encourage anyone, just study as much as you can and go make a movie, and try to make it the best you can with the littles that you have. Like use what you have. You know what I mean? Little resources. Use all the locations you have, people that props that you have. Don't go crazy trying to write like your passion film, because a lot of people trying to do their first feature film, they don't understand like budgeting and stuff like that. They're like, oh, I got the $1 million script. Everyone has a $1 million script. It's not realistic, because if you don't have a track record, no one's going to give you a freaking $1 million. You know what I mean? You have a track record, then eventually money will come. But like use what you have and just get something made, and because it's like everyone has this perception that like, and I even had it, like I want to co-star with like Al Pacino or Jean-Claude Van Damme and this and that, and then like you want to be able to make content, put yourself as a star, and have people want to work on your projects. Like I want to co-star with Lewis or Vinny, you know what I mean? And so that, like, because I don't know, like I know you got your film, but like me, like I want to be a lead, I want to be a star, you know what I mean? So it's like I have to start, change my perspective. Like instead of having like, I do want to be in a movie with these guys, like Lord willing, I love to be someone's co-star, but you have to write your own films and star in your own films and carve your own way. Be the best Louis DeStefano that I can be, and then other people want to come in and be that are coming up and be my co-star and so forth. It's just like, yeah, man, it's just like you have to just star in your own films. At the end of the day, that's what you want to do. If you just want to be an actor, go to acting school and get on, other people's projects, that's fine. Like I don't mind doing that, but I want to do the big stuff. That's what I signed up for. That's what I feel called to, and my life tested to that, and it's coming. It happened. You know what I mean? So it's like I want to keep going. You know what I mean?
We're called to a certain vocation. Hello there. What's up, Jay Ferrara? What's going on? I'll tell you what. here goes a good, maybe this is good advice. Tell me if you think I'm right, Lou. You're just starting out. First of all, I would recommend finding, no matter where you are, there's always a group of people that are like you that want to be in film in some capacity, whether it's,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they want to be a grip, maybe they want to be an actor, maybe they want to produce, whatever it is. Find those niche of people, or find like-minded people somewhere
Yep.
locally. Get one location, make a great horror, like low budget independent film, one location, keep it cheap, and start from there. What do you think, Lou? Good advice?
Good advice. You know, you don't have to go crazy spending money because like eh, eh, people don't have money really. You know, you have to find people that have money, and even then, like, are they going to really invest in you? You know, like, and stuff like that. So it's just better to have something to show for it. Get it done, and then people will take you serious once you have a feature film done. Then they'll be like, okay, like because people that are already in the industry, like me, like, oh, the guy did a feature film, you got to give him that respect because whether it's garbage or not, the guy got it done. So there's something within him that drove him to do it, or her, and they did it. So it's like I give them that respect. So they can only get better from there. But then, you know, like they you can't just want everything in your movie. You have to be realistic on locations because in pre-production you got to think like all the locations you're going to film, like wardrobe. Usually the actors, we just tell them bring multiple sets of clothing so we can kind of figure out what you know we want them to wear, because we don't have time to go out or have the money to go out and buy other people's clothes for the costumes and all that. So but a lot of the money will go into locations. It could be like $1,000 a day plus whoever you're paying plus all the food. So you want to be able to wrap up who doesn't need to be there as fast as you can. So you have to schedule according, like what scenes you're going to shoot first. So, okay, we only need this person for one scene. We'll have them come at this time, wrap them up, boom, before lunch. And then, like, you don't have to buy an extra meal for them because, like, with us, because we have a lot of people on set, I mean, it could be like $100 to $300 a day just in food. That's a lot of money, and that's like, how many days you're on set, and that's a lot of money. So you have to be budget conscious, so like the horror movie genre people, man, they just have minimal actors, one location, and they have a dedicated crew. It's better to have the crew be actors. Like I'm an actor, but I'm also crew. So we take turns in different scenes and who's running the camera. So I could jump in there, do my scene, whatever, or that person gets killed off and so forth. It just makes life easier. And then that person's back on doing boom. So it's just like the crew are the actors and vice versa. So we can get a movie done one location, maybe 3-4 days. You know what I mean? And then like boom, we have a feature film done. And that's how you have to think. You can't be like going out and just blowing money at locations and this and that, because especially if like you're trying to use your friend's house and he has a family, has kids, and they're on a schedule, but then he's letting you film there for at least 8 hours. And then what if you go over? There's too much conflict. You don't want to have problems with people that you're borrowing like locations. So you have to really plan according, and then that's why it's also good to actually rent a place. So you're renting for 8 hours or 12 hours, and then for sure that you can just bang it out, and have good quality sound too, as well. There's just so much, bro, I can get into when it comes to production and how to plan a movie. But we can say that for another time, dude.
Yeah.
But it's just like use your resources that you have,
Yeah. Well, Lou, listen, it's bedtime for me. I would love to keep talking, but then I might fall asleep on you.
I know. Sorry, I like the chat. I'm excited, and there's so much I would love to share with you, man, and like to the audience as well, because people don't get to see me like this on
Yeah.
social media whatsoever.
Well,
This is the first time.
you should definitely open up to them, because I think, I mean, obviously from all the interactions, you're very well received and they love you. I mean, I don't think it's an understatement. But we could bring you back for a part 2. That's not a bad idea too. What do you think, Lou?
Yeah, I'll love to. You know what I mean? Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And then whoever got questions, hit me up. DM me, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. But yeah, man, let's make movies. I want to make a movie right now. Let's go.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how I feel.
We got to compare notes, man. I think we can eventually cross paths and hopefully do something mutually
Yeah,
beneficial.
definitely.
So.
If you need help with consulting or anything, let me know.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Definitely.
Well, guys, listen again. If you missed the beginning or you want to watch this again, the recap will be on Vinny Presents on YouTube. Please subscribe, and let's give it a week or so. We'll get it edited and put up there.
Yeah.
And you've been watching Louis DeStefano. I know I'm not saying it the way you like, but it's too late for me to learn anything else. Okay,
It's okay,
I'm too old to
DeStefano.
learn.
DeStefano. I'm just trying to read the comments as you're closing out because some of my friends just jumped in. I'm like, oh man, I want to see what they're saying.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Faith Hope from Dallas.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my friend Melissa. She's like one of my best girlfriends from church from way back in the
Oh,
days.
nice.
Yeah, she's
Welcome.
been there like, yeah, she's a nice, godly girl. She knew my family. She was there when my grandmother died that day. My grandmother was at the hospital down the street from her house, and she came with her aunt and all that, and this was just there for me and my uncle and my dad and stuff like that. And yeah, man, but she's I love you, Melissa. She's like one of my best friends, and I want to see who else is in here real fast.
Yeah, and I tell you, man, it's really just a beautiful thing as far as this. I like the writing end, the production end of things, but I love the fact that it's good to know a little bit of everything. It really is.
Who's a real Ludo or Lou Do It?
Real You Do It. That's John DeStefano.
Oh, okay. Hey, nice to meet you. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thanks for the kind comments and stuff. Wish we had more time, but Vinny needs to get his shut eye.
Well,
the East Coast time, huh?
We got a late start, but that's okay. I think we definitely got some good content, and I think that we definitely got to bring you back, man. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Yeah. Another thing too, real fast, guys. Believe it or not, I do want to do faith-based films, Christian films. Good, even though I do want to star and do more action films and stuff like that, and also do my own personal art house type drama. But I definitely want to do faith-based films, Christian faith-based films. Doesn't have to be all preachy or anything like that, but there's some really good filmmakers out there that I would love to collaborate and work with. Kindred Brothers, the Irwin Brothers, especially, the Kingdom Story Company. I love those guys. They make good content for the masses. It's just really powerful stories that they do. I can only imagine. That was a really good movie, and Jesus Revolution movie. That's a whole other thing we could talk about for another day. But yeah, man, faith-based films. I definitely want to do that one day.
I think you would do phenomenal with that. I watch those. My wife loves that, and she the kids watch it. I watch it, and they're really good. Some really good stories that I think more people really need to get turned on to, because if you watch it, it'll hook you, and you'll really enjoy those stories.
Totally, man. Yeah. It's just, yeah. Did you see Jesus Revolution?
I didn't know.
Oh, you gotta.
I didn't
see it. It has, it had to do with the Jesus Revolution movement in the late '60s and early '70s. The whole Calvary Chapel, Costa Mesa, Pastor Chuck Smith, Greg Laurie, his testimony, how he got saved and how he met his wife, like the whole thing, the baptisms at Pirates Cove in Newport Beach. I actually went to, and I ended up getting rebaptized. It was just the whole thing. We could talk for another day, man. If you want to talk more on the faith-based side of my story,
that'd be great. Yeah, we could definitely do that next time. I mean, that's really important to me too, man. I'm not ashamed to admit that I think that, and I'm respectful of all faiths, because I realize that not everybody sees things the same ways as I do. But I love people that have at least that have that faith, that have that connection, because it's important in life.
Of course.
Well,
of course,
Lou,
totally.
You've been phenomenal.
Thank you.
Can't say enough about how much I enjoyed it, really. And we will definitely do a follow-up. But for now, those that missed maybe the beginning, you could check it out. It's going to be on the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel called Vinny Present. And I ask you to please subscribe. That'll be up in about, let's give it a week and a half, 10 days as a recap. And you can watch the whole thing there. In the meantime, please make sure you're following Lou. Make sure you're following me. And I'll follow you, and we'll follow each other.
Sounds good.
And you've been watching Louis DeStefano. Lou, you are the man. I can't wait to chat some more next time, man.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for everyone that tuned in. You guys have a good night, and God bless you, and I'll see you soon.
Amen. Thank you, guys. Amen.